All right, guys, it has been a minute since I've done a Thursday upload where we go behind the scenes and kind of check out all the stuff going on in the shop. And this is a good Thursday to do it because we have bike night and there's just in general a ton of stuff going on. So let's kind of recap. The last video you guys saw was the CB450. I put that up on Monday, and of course we sold that bike. Now, on the topic of selling stuff, we're making some changes around here. So it's very apparent that we have a lot of projects just kind of everywhere at various stages, and you know what, it's kind of been overwhelming for a while, and I know a lot of you guys have requested, like, you know, maybe getting back on specific projects, and it's just been complicated. Okay, so in YouTube world, looking at analytics and stuff like that, I have to make certain decisions to help guide the channel and grow it in a way that is profitable, that can help run this lifestyle that I'm trying to create. So there's a lot of decisions that I make that may not make sense to you guys, such as maybe buying and selling different bikes and stuff like that. But there is a deeper level decision with everything that I do. So, you know, just trust me on some stuff. Now, yeah, we just bought 8 bikes. I already sold like 2 or 3 of those things. And we have a few more left over from that haul, and it was a lot of fun and stuff. And there's definitely some projects that we could get to in the future if we decide to do so. I mean, I'm looking at this Triumph right here and the Norton that's in the back, and let me tell you, that's really tempting to hop on those things. But again, I know we have other projects ahead of them, so I'm not going to prioritize those things right now. Now, to get to future projects, I have to complete work that has been ongoing already. So the CX500 build right here, we're deep in the stages of building a wiring harness for this bike, and I'd say I'm going as fast as I could. I'm really not. I'm kind of like not wanting to wire this thing for some reason. I'm chipping away at it, so hopefully today, tomorrow, maybe I'll make a little bit more progress, but that's gonna be an upcoming video, is how to build a wiring harness. But to wrap that up, that project is nearing completion, which means we can turn our attention, turn our focus to something else. So the Benelli and the CBX. The Benelli and the CBX. A lot of you guys want me to work on those bikes. I do too. The CBX, the initial goal was to do more of a concourse restoration on that thing. I've got a really thick book on like how to do all the paint marks and all the top tier stuff. And you know what? That's not really my style. So we've kind of switched directions on it. And what we're gonna do is a restoration still. It's gonna be a very nice bike, but it's not gonna be like the most concourse top tier kind of thing ever. And that's gonna help us get it done faster. Now the Benelli, I just don't want to start on that until I finish the CBX. So of course, we know where the desire is for those 2 bikes right there. I'd like to get them moved ahead in the schedule. And realistically, I know that, you know what, I'm not going to get to this CB750 build in a timely manner. So it is currently for sale. I actually have it listed along with the CB750 parts bike down there. So those 2 are up for grabs. This one's got the Lester mags on it and stuff like that. They'll probably be sold by the time anybody can reply to this video, but check the description. I will let you guys know if they are still for sale. I'm asking like 700 bucks, no title, because mainly just Lesters, you know. It's a good parts bike, or you could get a title for it and make it a cool build. So I'm also selling this CB500 here. This is a clear titled bike. I have a lot of interest in this one already. You know, I have hopes and dreams of doing a cool vintage scrambler with one of these things. I've already got like an XL350 front end kind of hanging off of it. It needs a lot of work to fit, but you know, that's kind of the idea that I was going with for that thing. So I'm not going to get to it, and if it means I can get to the Benelli faster, then I'll let this one go. So right now I've got this one listed up at like 200 bucks. You know, I know somebody's going to jump on that. This CX500 over here, I've mentioned it a couple times. We're just on slow days, or days where we're kind of in between projects or waiting on parts. We chip away at this one a little bit. So we're to the point now where we just have to wire it. And this one's getting like an M unit and stuff. And then it will very soon, I say very soon, it just depends on how fast we work on it, be back on the road. But we've already done like a mechanical seal. It's getting new electronics on it, of course. We've got all new coolant tube O-rings and some other seals on it. Fork rebuild, new shocks. It's going to be a nice little kind of budget bike that will be for sale afterwards for probably about $5,000, if I had to guess. But yeah, it's going to be sweet. You guys probably saw I do have the Bandit listed up for sale right now. So just waiting for the right guy to come along, or gal, to come along and get this thing. It's a really clean bike, and I love riding it. But we've got a lot of stuff. We don't need this much stuff, okay? So I love this bike, but I'd rather put my time and mental focus towards other things. This ain't never going anywhere, okay? Except for on road trips with me. Yeah, YouTube is a tough game, guys. There's no real secret to it. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and of course all the decisions I make to, like get different projects, things like that. YouTube in general seems to favor more. So my videos have changed in the last year. I'm trying to make better quality videos that have more in them instead of individual build series videos. So I've been getting a couple comments lately, like, I missed the custom builds. Like, I've got this custom build going on that I'm still actively putting videos out on, but for some reason they seem to be going unnoticed. I mean, that engine rebuild video was fantastic. There's so much information shared in that one that can be, helpful to anybody building an engine. I wish it would get more attention, and same thing with like chassis assembly, mounting electronics, that kind of thing. So next up is a wiring video. I hope you guys that are asking for custom content are gonna watch it. That would be really awesome. So because of that, because, like custom build videos, even though you guys say you want them, they're just not getting views. So we're just gonna keep having fun doing like will it runs and stuff like that, because we've always done that. I have always been buying and selling bikes, and I have always been doing will it runs, or revivals as I call them. So, those get a lot more views, and of course helps keep this whole ship afloat. And they're just fun to do. It's a lot easier to do a will it run than a custom build, let me tell you. That's a Tomos moped frame. So talking about that kind of thing, let's take a look at some stuff going on back here. I'll give you an update on some various projects. So the Chopper, this, and Seth's 750 over here, we're actually gearing up to do that ride where we do that overnight camping stint. So these are currently being worked on. We did some test riding on this one last weekend. It seems like it's good to go outside of balancing the front tire. And so the idea is we're gonna ride these things probably about 6-7 hours to southern Missouri. We're gonna stay in New Madrid because I'm a earthquake dork, and it's a geological point of interest, I should say. So anyway, we're gonna go strap some camping gear on these things, and we're gonna do an overnight camping ride, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. This little Bentley over here, this was recently purchased with those 8 motorcycles. Look for a video Monday on this thing. You're gonna like it. Do you need assistance?
Yeah. That would be awesome, actually.
What am I doing?
Grab something. Well, maybe not that.
Oh. I'm helping.
Anything in this general.
Do you want me to hold the flashlight, Dad?
Yes, if you don't mind.
Okay, what do you want?
Can you hold that? Yes.
I'm holding.
And okay. Much better. I'm good now.
Oh, okay, all right. So he is in the midst of doing a taper roller conversion for the steering bearings, because the originals were the ball bearing style, and they were a little bit notchy. And this thing, did it have a wobble when you're riding it?
Actually, yeah, it did, now that I think about it. On D-cell, especially with one hand, it would do all that. So.
Well, hopefully this will remedy that. So just check the forks out. They do not appear to be bent, which was a concern, but they seem good to go. So you guys probably saw Seth's CB750 revival. That thing was really cool. You've worked on it a tiny bit more, right?
Sparingly. I kind of halfway tried figuring out the running issue where you give it gas and it dies in the mid-range and all that. But it has foot pegs now, so that's cool.
Yeah. It's pretty much a new bike now.
Yeah, basically, it's restored.
So I don't know. You'll see it again probably. There's no ETA or anything on that one. So over here we got that Norton. I'm not doing anything with that. The VMAX, we have some interesting stuff for that. So with that bike, I made those first 2 videos, and in the second video, I mentioned that I really wanted a Kirker 4-in-1 system. Well, a couple people reached out. One person in Australia in particular said he had a used Kirker, sent me some photos of it, and I decided that it was the right system for me, so exchanged funds. And it was just very apparent right after that that it was a scam. So it's been a couple weeks since all that went down. I've filed all the, all the different stuff that you need to do. It was just too late, okay? So I got scammed. Australia Post. This is my Kirker 4-in-1 because I got scammed, y'all. Lost $700 on that exhaust. And what did Henry send? Some vintage radio capacitors. So, might end up making a video on this whole experience trying to help you guys avoid this, but pretty upset right now. I wasted $700 on getting a Kirker 4-in-1 system for it because this bike's not really deserving of a brand new, what are they, like $1,700 or something? It's a stupid price. So, I'm kind of pissed off about the whole thing right now. I'd like to play around with it some more. It'll break my heart. I might try to put some super traps on it or something, but yeah, as of now, we've been sorting some other stuff on the bike, having some fun with it. Fixed a charging system issue, and then that was kind of really the only thing we've been working on. We're fighting that longer than we thought, and just playing around with it. But yeah, that exhaust is definitely a thorn in my side right now. So, people suck. People suck, man. I don't know if I need to make like if it's worth making a whole video on how the whole situation went down in order to maybe like give you guys some insight and help anybody who might be worrying about the same thing. Like, I'm really good. Like, I have a very, very sensitive bullshit meter, and he got me on this one. Like, used the whole like kind of community side of things that I really value and got me. So pretty sad about that. Anyway, on to the next thing, the Road King. I've been tinkering with this thing. There's not going to be any videos on it. This is just for me and my late father's bike. I've been riding it around, just kind of bringing it back up to roadworthiness and enjoying it. So over here though, we got some stuff to talk about. This is gonna be the longest video of just talking. Okay, the challenge bikes, all right? You can see one of them has a long front end kind of hanging off of it. So our desire for these things is to make them into adventure bikes. Now, I really thought the original 48-hour challenge video was gonna do a lot better, and it just, it's doing okay in the grand scheme of what I think the video contains and stuff. So we made the redemption ride, which was actually fixing what needed to be fixed and doing our 100-mile ride on these things. They did awesome. It was a very fun video, but that one's not really doing well either. And so I'm trying to weigh if it's worth pursuing these bikes any further. I don't get any comments on people wanting to see stuff on these, so I don't know if there's really any interest. But the thing that we would want to do, we both have dirt bike front ends. That's a CR125. I have an older CR125 front end that can go on. I'd like to extend, the rear swing arms a little bit, put taller shocks on them, relace the wheels into like a modern 17-inch aluminum, get rid of this god-awful exhaust on both bikes, and I don't know, go do some dirt bike hooligan shenanigan stuff with these, and I think it would be a lot of fun. But we need to know if it's going to be worth it, so you guys need to tell us in the comments if that's something you'd want to see. I know Seth has an opinion on it.
I would love to full hooligan these things. Off-road, hitting the whoops, all that.
Yeah.
But I guess it kind of depends on the reception going forward on how we're going to approach that.
Yeah. I mentioned it earlier in the video, but like YouTube, the channel, this is a business and it has to be run like a business. So we have to make kind of smart, I say that, smart decisions, but damn, we got a lot of freaking projects that, yeah, we're doing our best. But yeah, people like to see revivals and things like that. Those videos just do a lot better. And even better than a lot of the custom stuff that I do, which is unfortunate. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure it all out right now. Now there is another project I'm staring at now. You guys have probably seen it in the background. I'm not really gonna show it, but we're trying to figure out what to do with that one too. It would ultimately make a really good will it run. So probably gonna stick around and at least do that. As far as other stuff going on, just really wanna kind of like thin the herd on stuff. We just got a lot going on. Did some work to the KLR back there, new front tire and new steering bearings on that. Yeah, it's good to go. V-Strom just gets ridden, never washed. Let me tell you, it never gets washed. But yeah, this week our main focus is working on CB750s, which is cool. So I worked on mine a little bit earlier. It had a dead battery, but I think actually an overcharging issue. It was kicking out like 15.2 volts or something at 5,000 RPM. So I actually messed with the stock regulator and I think I have it where it needs to be right now. So just working on getting these things absolutely reliable and gearing up for that trip. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So anyway, we got a lot of stuff going on. So I'm gonna end this clip and we're gonna come back whenever it's time for Vintage Bike Night tonight.
I think one was 69, one was 71, and they had a 74, 75 Z50. They're all red, and he bought them. They all rode them as kids. His dad passed away, and they were cleaning up the house. It's all or nothing. I'll have that.
It's got air conditioning. It's got proper seatbelts.
You guys have seen these. Buddy Dan's GL500. Little Ducati Diaval.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, the smoking mountains.
Didn't sit, no big deal.
Take them off from there to go where the really best place would be down in Arkansas and Ozarks area.
Ooh.
You know, that's not a bad idea.
Whenever I was 16, I rode a XL 200. So this is everything for me. C7. Couple sporties. This is not a Sportster. If you guys are watching this, I'm sorry. Sounds good. All right, that's the last of the guys leaving bike night. Been a really good turnout. But anyway, a lot of talking in this video. Look for a good one coming up on Monday, but hope you guys like this one. Anyway, until next time, hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.